Welcome to the ITSP Magazine Podcast Network, a modern, innovative multimedia platform, broadcasting ideas and connecting minds. Every company has a story to tell, from the small startup to the large enterprise, and everything in between. This is one of them. We hope you enjoy this brand story conversation.
Here we are, we're ready for another 7 minutes on ITSP Magazine with a new short brand story. Today I'm joined by Brooke Motta, CEO and co-founder of RAD Security, the company taking a signatureless behavioral approach to detect and respond earlier to cloud attacks while sharpening inputs into shift left and posture management. Welcome, Brooke.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
I want to start off by congratulating you on RAD Security being selected as a finalist in the Black Hat Startup Spotlight competition. I think you're recognized for your work there in having the signatureless behavioral approach. And if I'm not mistaken, you're one of the only organizations that also was recognized at RSA conference for your innovations in the sandbox there.
Yeah, great observation. That's true. We are the only company to have been selected for both. So we're really excited about the opportunity to showcase what we're doing at Black Hat this year. So thank you for recognizing.
Yeah, absolutely. And last time we spoke, we looked at kind of how cloud native development is kind of the biggest threat facing security teams today. And today I want to kind of switch the conversation to look at a deeper dive into what the signature-based and move from signature-based to behavior-based detection really means in the world of cloud workflow protection platforms.
Yeah, so as we talked about in our last chat, the world has moved to cloud native, and with that comes a new opportunity for people with malicious intent to attack some new targets. And so what RAD has done, and much differently than our competition or even CWPP vendors out there, is we've decided to take an approach that doesn't rely on signatures or CVEs in order to catch cloud native attacks early in the development pipeline. Instead, we are fingerprinting your workloads to understand threats much earlier in the development lifecycle. And we do that by detecting drift from what we've observed as known good behavior in your environment. Anything that drifts from that, we then flag as suspicious. And so it's a much different approach than what legacy container security solutions are doing today.
And when you say drift, and you can share as little or as much as you want here, what are some of the challenges that teams have? I mean, because drift is common, right?
Yeah, so what we're doing is, instead of depending on signatures and CVEs, we're providing teams with a way to detect 0 days. And so you saw in recent history, there was a vulnerability called the XZ backdoor. And threats, more and more threats like that are emerging. In fact, 90% of organizations in 2023 experienced a breach in their container or Kubernetes environment. And so rather than having the teams that are responsible for securing those containers or Kubernetes infrastructure to wait for a signature or CVE to be created, instead what we're doing is we are identifying threats like the recent XZ backdoor vulnerability much earlier. We also can identify things like human and non-human identities that are inside your cluster. And so this allows for us to arm our customers with information that's not only useful to preventing attacks, but also helps them to detect them much earlier in the development lifecycle.
So much cool stuff here. I have a gazillion questions, but let's go with this one. The supply chain stuff comes in through third-party services and APIs and things like that. And because you're at runtime, you're able to analyze this stuff. So talk to me about the environment and how what you do gets the whole picture at runtime and not just dealing with stuff at build time.
That's right. Yeah. So, there's a challenge right now between software supply chain attackers and the people who are actually producing the software. And so what we're helping development teams to do is to get a verified clean runtime fingerprint against the same image running in their environment so that they actually have an opportunity to defend against the next zero-day attack. And so we have a whole library of fingerprints for our customers in order to make sure that they're fully protected. And we're doing that also by leveraging eBPF to codify the baseline behavior of the workload into the fingerprint. And that way the DevSecOps teams or the DevOps teams can use that as a verifiable defense against those software supply chain attacks that you were just talking about.
In the last moments we have here, talk to me about response. Having the knowledge and the context, right?
That's right. So another area of differentiation for us is rather than just providing the cloud detection, we actually have been really thoughtful about making sure that our customers had response actions as well. And so most companies that say they do CDR actually really mean that they're doing CD. And so RAD provides customers with, like I said, the response actions that allow you to quarantine, label, or terminate anomalous activity. We're also leveraging LLMs in order to classify detections and help SOC teams to understand how to remediate much, much faster. And so we're really thoughtful about making sure that our customers can quickly get to a path of remediation, not just for smaller companies, but also for very large companies at scale who don't often know exactly who's responsible for fixing what. And so we've built a lot in our platform and leveraged some really nice integration partnerships in order to make sure that we can help response at scale.
That's fantastic. And that is also 7 minutes here on ITSP Magazine. The time flies, and you've said a lot of good stuff. So thanks a lot, Brooke.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me.